Welcome to Jace Live at 5. If you see the title of this live stream, yes, we're going to be talking about Superman. We're going to be talking about the DCU. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So, what I decided to do in this stream, since we are going to be talking about Superman, DCU, and other DC things, I decided why not bring back the James Gunn DCU announcement and kind of just go over everything that was announced from that, also with some other rumored things that we've heard, and just kind of discuss each project as we go. Um, I'm just gonna wait for people to pop in. Hopefully, we'll get some people popping in soon enough. Um, so yeah, I'll try to explain. I'll try to explain it once people show up. If not, I'll just pretty much just get started and go from there. But hopefully, some people will come through and chat and hang out for a bit. And it's probably going to be at least a good hour to an hour 30-minute live stream. Shout out to everybody that came to the live stream yesterday on my other channel, the Jace the Dawn channel. That was a really fun live stream and just kind of discussing about the whole Cartoon Network situation. And you guys were very informative and very well known with your feedback, and I really appreciate the feedback and even just the acknowledging, encouraging comments. They've been really helping me through this time, and just chatting with you guys is just always fun. So I'm always here for it. But yeah, hopefully some people can come through, tune in. Hopefully people actually knew that the stream is happening because I don't clearly see anyone. Um, as of right now, I don't see anyone on the stream either, which is interesting. Usually I have some people show up by now, but I guess not. Hopefully everything's okay, but if not, I'm just gonna talk and just kind of give my thoughts on things, and that'll be that. And if I get some people to join in through it, I'll just repeat some things that I said. So, like I said, starting out with the DCU announcement video, the first announcement that we got from James Gunn was Creature Commandos. Now, as of the current time, we've gotten some more information about Creature Commandos, what the show is going to be about, some of the characters that are going to appear in the show, and some of the characters that are going to appear in other DCU projects, and things of that matter. So, as you guys know, Creature Commandos is set to release in December, so that's awesome. We have some of the characters like Weasel, Rick Flag Sr., some other potential characters. Since this is the chapter of Gods and Monsters, a lot of the characters from the Creature Commandos franchise are monsters. So it's going to be really interesting. James Gunn did confirm last year that Creature Commandos is set to take place in current day, so it is in current day DCU timeline, which is interesting. We also know that Creature Commandos, some of the characters will appear in Superman, the upcoming Superman movie as well, which is really cool. Amanda Waller is also going to make an appearance in the show, and it seems like Amanda Waller is also going to make some appearances in some other projects as well that we'll get to down the line. But yeah, James Gunn, he pretty much described Creature Commandos as a thing that he's written up. I believe he said he written 8 episodes, 7 or 8 episodes. Frank Grillo, he plays Rick Flag Sr. And I'm not going to do any spoiler talk, but I'll just say this. His character is going to be in another potential project coming down the line, which is no surprise, but really looking forward to his character. Frank Grillo is he's a very underrated actor, and I think he works really good when it comes to the action scene of things. So yeah, that is Creature Commandos. That's all the news that we pretty much have for Creature Commandos. So the next show is actually going to, speaking of Waller, Waller is going to be getting her own series. And so James Gunn describes this series as Amanda Waller pretty much teaming up with Team Peacemaker. Now, I don't know much about Team Peacemaker. I do know about Peacemaker from obviously the Suicide Squad and the Peacemaker show itself, which, by the way, Peacemaker Season 2 is currently filming. Um, my wrestling fans out there, John Cena, he's on his last leg as a wrestler, so it seems like he's going to get into more of a full time acting role, which is going to be really interesting because that could mean more possible seasons for Peacemaker. What's up, Marvel fan? How are you doing? We're going through the DCU projects. We're going to be talking Superman. But basically, what I wanted to do in this live stream is go through all of the. What's up, Carter? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry, I'm late. How are you doing? I'm doing good, Marvel fan. I'm doing good. You're right on time. You're not late. You're right on time. I'm gonna go over everything that I kind of discussed. So the stream, part of the stream, we're gonna be talking Superman, but I also decided why not go over some of the projects from the DCU announcement that James Gunn did a year ago, and starting out with Creature Commandos because that was like the first thing he announced. So we're gonna talk about Creature Commandos, and then for each project, we're going to spend an amount of time kind of discussing those projects and then moving on to the next project that was announced. So, about Creature Commandos, I kind of again refreshed it. Creature Commandos is a part of the Gods and Monsters Chapter 1, and we do know that these characters is an ensemble of characters. These characters don't like each other, and Amanda Waller set this team up together. The series is going to be 8 episodes, and the series is set to come out in December. We know that some of these characters are going to appear in Superman. If you guys have seen some of the set photos, I think you've seen some of the characters. I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say there is some interesting things from Creature Commandos that we could expect in Superman as well. Let's see. It's time to unleash my anger about people wanting Matt Reeves' Batman being in the DCU. Well, go ahead, go ahead. This is the stream for it. We're talking DC, also DC Elseworlds. That counts. We're just going to talk all things DC. So go ahead. Let me know how you feel because I agree with you. I don't think the DC. I don't think the Matt Reeves universe needs to be the DCU Batman. I think you can have two separate Batmans and it work out. We've had it before. We've had it many times before. It can work. What makes the Matt Reeves universe of the Batman for me so great is that it's different. It's not something that, it's been done before in the comics, but it's a different thing on screen. And I feel like that universe needs to be its own separate entity. And that's why it's in the DC Elseworlds. And I feel like it needs to stay in the DC Elseworlds. Just like the Black Superman movie. There's still talks of a Black Superman movie at some point. That needs to be in its own separate universe. Not Creature Commandos, but Batman Cape Crusader, and all these other projects are DC Elseworlds. So that's why they work. They need to stay where they are. And I just don't think tying up, Robert Pattinson's Batman into this new DCU is a good idea. I think you should, cast for a new Batman in this universe and keep it new and fresh. That's how I feel about it. Sorry for the question because I forgot. But the show is animated, right? Yes, Creature Commandos is going to be animated. James Gunn did also mention the point that in the DCU, some of the characters that are animated are going to be jumping into live action and vice versa. So if you guys have heard, there's a rumored Blue Beetle animated series that's in the works. So that's pretty much the same thing. It's going to be focusing on the same Blue Beetle from the movie, but it's going to be an animated series. I love the. You said you love the Superman suit in the new Superman movie. Yeah, I like it too. The only issue I have with the suit is I think it's around this area. The lines. I think there's too much lines in this area. But overall, I really like the suit. I really like the suit. And the first image that we got with Superman and he's in a dark setting and it's all messed up, the suit's all messed up and dirty. Like that wasn't really the best first look at that suit. So I definitely understand why people felt the way they did at the first beginning about the suit. But once we got the set images of how the suit actually looks, I was okay with how it looked, and I'm still okay with it. Even though like I probably would have had less lines on the suit, to be honest with you. I think it still works, and I understand like the reference is referencing the 52, the new 52 universe suit, I believe, because that suit has a bunch of references. Like the logo is the Kingdom Come logo. The lining, the gold lining, is from the Flesher Superman shorts, and just a ton of other little Batman mythos from other Superman universes, not Batman, but Superman universes and stuff, which is really cool. To me, Creature Commandos sounds a little bit more like a unknown Suicide Squad. Yeah, it does seem that way, and it seems like after the Suicide Squad, Amanda Waller felt like she needed to find another team, which tells me, which we're gonna jump into the Waller series after this, but which tells me that the Creature Commandos isn't gonna work either for Amanda Waller, because in the Amanda Waller series, James Gunn describes that she is going to, initiate Team Peacemaker, whatever that means. I don't know much about Team Peacemaker. I just know of Peacemaker from obviously the comics and from the show. But as far as who Team Peacemaker is and who's involved with it, I don't really know. But that's what Waller is going to expand on, and I'm sure we're going to get more backstory on Waller. And like I said, Waller's in a lot of projects. She's going to be in Creature Commandos. She's obviously going to be in Peacemaker Season 2. I wouldn't be surprised if she shows up for a short cameo in Superman. Like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Amanda Waller is going to be the Nick Fury of the DCU, it seems like. An evil version of Nick Fury. The way I like to think of it. See, I think they could get rid of some lines. It would look better. But the suit looks great. Yeah, it does look great. Suicide Squad versus Creature Commandos, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. Out of that fight though, who do you think would win, and why? Also, Creature Commandos. I don't know if I said it already, but James Gunn did confirm that Creature Commandos is set in current day, so it's not going to be a period piece. So all these characters all exist in the main DCU timeline. Just before you said Amanda Waller sounds like Nick Fury, I was literally about to type Amanda Waller is going to be the Nick Fury of the DCU. That's hilarious. Hey, two great minds think alike. So that's awesome. But yeah, it really does seem like that's what Amanda Waller's journey is going to be. Just an evil version of Nick Fury, trying to recruit a team, trying to control them. Because that's what Waller likes to do. She likes to control people, she likes to have power over people. And we've seen it many times. We've seen it with the Suicide Squad. We've seen it with Peacemaker. We've seen, what she can do. And even in the animated stuff, Young Justice and My Adventures with Superman. So we're seeing that side of Waller. We're seeing more of Waller more and more in these DC projects, which is really interesting. But yeah, how do you guys, speaking of Waller, like how do you guys feel about the Waller show? Do you feel like the Waller show is going to be interesting? Do you feel like there's going to be some elements to Waller that we didn't expect? Definitely let me know how you guys feel about that. Did you guys even want Waller to have her own show? Do you guys think Waller is a interesting enough character to have her own show? I'd like to hear your thoughts about that. Creature Commandos will beat the Suicide Squad because it is a group of monsters. Exactly. Like, you're dealing with monsters versus like human beings. And one thing about monsters, never underestimate monsters. That's one thing that's for sure. I think the Suicide Squad would beat Creature Commandos because Suicide Squad has some heavy hitters like King Shark. Yep, That's also a good point. King Shark is, if there's one member out of the Suicide Squad that I could see taking down all of them, I see King Shark being the one doing that. I really do. Let's see. I'm trying to see what the next project is after this. Oh yeah. So the next project that he talked about was Superman Legacy. Because remember, at the time, that was going to be the name of the movie. Now, the name of the movie is just simply Superman, which is a lot cleaner. Superman Legacy, it kind of stuck on me. I don't know about you guys if you like the name Superman Legacy, but it kind of stuck on me for a while. But I like the simple just Superman. Let's see. Also, I think Amanda Waller does not need a show. It sounds kind of like unneeded, but it has potential. Yeah, understandable. Because like if she's going to recruit Peacemaker, like I feel like they need to do more in that show besides just her recruiting another team, because we've seen that about like 3 or 4 times already. So hopefully they do something different. Like I would love to see some backstory on Amanda Waller, because I feel like we do have a little bit, but we don't have more. Like I would love to know like what made her become this like evil, like sour person that she is, just a full on like psychopath. Like I want to know like what made her. Was it a traumatic experience? Was it some things that she went through in her family? Like, I honestly would love to know more history about Amanda Waller and what makes her tick as a person. I want Black Beetle to be the main villain in the Blue Beetle animated series. Hey, it's possible. It's possible. With animation, like I said, anything can happen. We're seeing it. We've seen it all the time with the DC animation. Like DC animation has always brought a lot of unknown villains, or as they call them, C-list or D-list villains, into the limelight and really expounded upon their history. So I could really see this being a thing in the DCU as well. So, speaking of Superman, how do you guys feel about Superman? We talked about the suit, but as far as like some other things that you guys maybe have potentially seen, I know there's a lot of set photos out there, um, of things that we've seen. Um, but how do you guys like feel ultimately about Superman being one of the big heavy hitters? Like we're getting another Superman movie that isn't going to be this, dark, brooding Superman. It's going to be a light-hearted, caring man of hope Superman that we've needed for the longest. I think it's going to be really refreshing. I think David Cornsweet is going to bring something very unique and special to that role. Just even looking at the set images and just the way he carries himself. The way he carries himself is very different compared to previous versions of Superman. And I think that's why I'm really invested in this version of the Superman and what he's going to be able to do, because just the atmosphere and the vibe that he has just feels different. You got a pitch for the Amanda Waller show? Yes. Bring it on. Bring it on. I would love to hear your pitch for the Amanda Waller show. The only I don't know if I can go into this, but there is one thing from the set images that I saw that I'm not a fan of, and I don't think that's going to be their final state, but I do think that there is a story to that. I'll just say that. So I think you could be like a show to set up the Justice League. So like they go throughout the show, we see who she is, and actually what she does, what she's been hiding. She's been hiding it. So you think that pretty much like a Waller has a big secret. She has this big ulterior plan, and she doesn't want to. Obviously, we don't know about it, but throughout the show, we eventually learn exactly. Okay, you type more. Then throughout the show, we see her do trial and error with teams and see them get brutally killed with some random characters at the end of the show. Someone like Doomsday gets loose and she has to assemble the Justice League, and then that leads into the further DCU. Yeah, because with the James Gunn announcement, he did say that there is a bigger threat to the DCU. As far as who it could be, we'll have to find out. But I know one of the projects that got mentioned was the Lanterns series, which James Gunn has stated that the Lantern series is going to tie us into the larger part of the DCU. We're going to find out how the Lantern series is going to play a big part into the future of the DCU Chapter 1, which I'm really looking forward to because, you know, Lanterns is described as a buddy cop, true detective style of show. And I know there was a report a while back about Lanterns being an HBO original, but James Gunn, like, this wasn't new news. James Gunn actually said this in the announcement that this was going to be a HBO style original show. So I was like, okay, well, I kind of that was kind of interesting at first, but then looking back at this announcement, I was like, okay, he did say that. Like, I see why that's being done, which there's nothing wrong with that. Because if you're going to do a true detective style kind of show, it would make sense that you would go a little bit more deeper and darker with the lanterns. Because, I mean, we got Hal Jordan and we got John Stewart. They're going to be the main lanterns, but James Gunn did say there are going to be more lanterns. So we are potentially going to see some other lanterns. And we obviously have a lantern that's going to be in Superman, Guy Gardner. So there are lanterns around, which is really cool about James Gunn's DCU is that these characters are not going to have origin stories. They're going to be in their own. These are well established heroes, and I like that. It's very different. It's a different take because we know about the origin stories. We know about these characters. We want to see these characters in action. We want to see them down the line. What are their stories like? You know, 2 to 3 years into being these heroes. I think it would be really. I think it's a really cool concept. I'm gonna read your comments. But when we see a screen teasing a villain, a bigger villain than Doomsday, and I think what you said, she's kind of gonna have a secret, but we slowly find out, but we don't fully find it out. Gotcha. I like that idea. It's just people kept on yapping about Matt Reeves' Batman being in the DCU as the main Batman. It just annoys me. Yeah, that's as much as people would love for that to happen. James Gunn already said in his announcement a year ago, we're getting Batman Brave and the Bold, and that's what it's going to be. Matt Reeves is not going to have any ties to that Batman. Again, the Batman, he stated in the beginning of the video, that's going to be DC Elseworlds. The Batman, Teen Titans Go, Creature Commandos, Batman Cape Crusader, the Black Superman movie that's still rumored to come out, DC Elseworld. And there's nothing wrong with that. DC Elseworld is still important for its own separate reasons. DC Elseworlds is a thing in the comics. Marvel had something similar to that. These side stories that played into their own world, their own universes, and that's fine. And like I said, the Batman doesn't need to connect to anything. I think the Batman universe in itself is good enough that it can carry on its own. It doesn't need to be in the greater DCU. Also, I got a theory on the new Superman. I don't know if you've seen a set, but there is like a person in a black suit with a U on the chest. I think it's going to be a mix of Bizarro. I have seen that. I've been hearing two people, Ulysses and Ultraman. But I don't think it's Ultraman. I don't think they need to do a evil Superman right now. I think that would be too overplayed out. But Ulysses, I think Ulysses and a mix of Bizarro, like you said, I think that would be an interesting twist, and I think I would like that. And like some evil Superman that's designed to replace Superman and make him look bad, and they're gonna use the real Superman for things, but that's just the theory. Yeah, I've been hearing that theory. I've been hearing that theory. So who knows? It could be Ultraman. It could be Ultraman. So we'll have to see. What's good, Solomon? How you doing? I hope you're doing good. The reason for that is because I think it's because they hate the idea of Elseworlds in general. Yeah, yeah, I could see that. But I mean, like I said, like we've always had the Elseworlds. The comics have the Elseworlds. It's just like its own separate thing, and that's why I feel like that's I feel like that's why the Batman again, like the Batman is good on its own terms, and it doesn't need to coexist with other DCU projects. It's good on its own and stay that way. Like we got the Penguin coming up. Like, who would have thought the Penguin, out of all the DC characters, the Penguin would be getting his own series? And by the way, I'm really looking forward to that series. It comes out September 19th. That's the day after my birthday, so you know. Agatha comes out on the 18th. The episode of Agatha comes out on the 18th, and the episode of The Penguin comes out on the 19th. So you know I'm going to be eating good when it comes to the entertainment for September. But again, really looking forward to the Penguin and just Colin Farrell and what more range and story they're gonna bring to that character and how it's gonna tie into the Batman too. Let's see, I meant to say Ultraman. I just forgot the name at the moment, but yeah, I think it would be a mix of Bizarro and Ultraman. That could be interesting. Solomon, you said, did you see the 2 episodes of the Marvel podcast? They said some pretty good things about the upcoming projects. I did. I listened to both of them. I listened to the one last week that Brad Witterbaum was on. He was talking about Daredevil Born Again. He was talking about he talked briefly about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. He talked briefly about X-Men 97 Season 2. Just some small updates on some things coming up. Agatha as well. So yeah, I did listen to that podcast, and I did listen to today's podcast as well. In today's podcast, they were talking about they did like an interview with some Jake Castorena, who works on X-Men 97, as well as someone else who works on X-Men 97. This was like a Wolverine based podcast because they had Hugh Jackman on there for a little bit, and they kind of told the origins of Wolverine, which I really like the fact that in their podcast they're doing origins of these characters. Like last week they did, since it was 4th of July, they did the origins of the Captain Americas throughout the history. I thought that was really cool. See, I would love to see a Joker show. I don't know about you, but I would love to see one. So, like, in terms of like Joker, we talking like are we talking like the Joker like obviously the Joker's getting a movie with Lady Gaga this year, which the trailer looked really good for that. I enjoyed the first Joker movie, and I'm really looking forward to this second one that's coming out. So, did you want one in that universe, or did you want one in just the main DC universe? Also, another thing to bring up was that there was an Arkham Asylum. If you guys remember, there was like an Arkham Asylum series that was announced. That now has been canceled. I guess that was in the Batverse, but they haven't really said that there isn't plans for a Arkham Asylum series in the main DCU timeline. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be going forward in the Batverse universe, which sucks because I think that would have been cool. We got to see a little bit of Arkham in the Batman. Obviously, we got to see the Joker in there, and I'm sure it would have been cool to have seen more villains locked up in Arkham. Let's see. I hope in the Black Superman movie That is Valzad from Earth, a new 52 version of Earth 2. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. Is he? I feel like is he new? Is he new? Because I think like again like a newer Superman, a newer Black Superman. Like there's obviously another Black Superman before him, but um, like a newer, younger Superman, Black Superman. I think that would be cool. That would work in with like Miles Morales, because again, like Miles Morales was young, like a very young when he was first introduced, and people love Miles Morales. So if he's the same kind of the same logic as that, I think it will work with that character. Now that Mr. Sinister is gone, who do you think X Men is going to go up against now? Apocalypse. I'd say Apocalypse is next. Do you? I think one of the new DCU the I think one in the new DCU universe we could have a fresh Joker. Hopefully they do a really good casting. Don't get me wrong, the guy that plays him in the movies does a really good job, but I want to see a fresh one. You gotta go. You'll be back in like 3 minutes. All right. To answer your question, yes, I do. I would love to see a new, fresh Joker, one that's really good. Um, we don't talk about we don't talk about the one from the DCEU. We don't talk about him. Um, but like I said, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, he is a really good one. I really liked his Joker, and they played into the psychology of Joker, which that's what made that movie so good is that they played into the psychology because it made you think like, okay, is this really happening or is this in his mind? Like you really didn't know until into the movie you start to pick up on certain things. It's just a really good piece, especially when it comes to mental health, and just kind of knowing the signs about certain things and about certain flaws that we have. Um, and like I said, it's just a really good movie. Let's see. Cal Ellis is the Black Superman from Earth 23. If this movie is going to have him as the main Black Superman for this movie, I'll be fine with that, to be honest. I would love to see a Batman show. The one in the DCU should get his own spin-off. Yeah, Batman Brave and the Bold. You know what? Actually, I'm actually looking at this right now. We can actually talk about that. I'll skip through some of this. We'll come back to some of these. But Batman Brave and the Bold. So obviously, Batman Brave and the Bold is based off of the comic run, which has Batman teaching Damian, his son Damian Wayne, how to be a better, how to be better. Let's just say that how to be better because Damian is an assassin. He's no Tim Drake. He's no Dick Grayson. Like Damian will attack you. He will murder you if he has to, and he does. But Batman has to teach him the no kill rule. And what we know about this is that James Gunn stated that there's going to be an extended Bat family in this movie. So that means we're going to see the likes of, Batgirl and, like I said, the other, you know, Robins that we have, like Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, all those. So that's going to be really cool. Um, I wonder, like, what else are they going to do with Damien? Is Damien going to be the way to set up Teen Titans? Because there is talks of a rumored Teen Titans movie happening. We don't know if it's actually going to happen. It hasn't been announced, but there has been talks of one. But I don't know if Damien should be. I mean, Damien could because Damien's going to be a teenage. Is Damien going to be a teenager in the movie? I feel like he is. I feel like he is going to be a teenager in that movie. So, I mean, that could work. That could work. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But depending upon who they get for Batman, in the DCU depends. I would love to see Alan Richardson as Batman. If you guys have seen the Reacher. You guys have seen him personally. He has that build as like Batman, and I could see him in that Batman role because there's a scene in the Reacher where he puts on the suit and he has this like Bruce Wayne vibe to him. So I could definitely see him as the DCU Batman, and I know that's like a big popular fan cast, but I see it. I know some people want Jensen Ackles to do it. I don't see Jensen Ackles as Batman, in my honest opinion, but I see why people would fan cast him as it. But maybe you guys have a different fan cast for Batman in the DCU. I would love to hear your guys' fan cast for Batman. Who would you guys like to see play Batman? Welcome back, Marvel fan. I would love to see Nightwing. If they are doing the extended, if they are going to be expanding upon the Bat family and Batman Brave and the Bold, then it's definitely likely that we'll see Nightwing, which I hope we do. Okay, I am back. What project are we talking about? We're talking about Batman Brave and the Bold. That's the project we're currently talking about, the Batman movie with Batman, Bruce Wayne, and his son Damian Wayne, and the extended Bat family, that sort of thing. So, kind of, give your thoughts on that. What do you guys think about that movie again? Who do you think should play Batman in the DCU? Things like that. I don't know who should play the DC. I don't know who should play the DC Batman. Understandable, understandable. Just I guess you feel like whoever they get as the actor to play him, that you hope that they're a good Batman and a good Bruce Wayne, which I'm hoping that as well because they need that. And like I said, this Batman movie could set up Teen Titans. It could set up Justice League. Who knows? I mean, there are like notches of the Justice League being formed. I mean, we have Justice League, um, like Booster Gold. Like that's a show that I'm actually looking forward to. Is Booster Gold? Um, I know there's been talks of people wanting Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander in The Boys, to play um, Booster Gold. There's obviously been talks of Chris Pratt because people know that Chris Pratt and James Gunn have a good relationship with each other. And and Chris Pratt has mentioned that he would love to play a character in the DCU. So I could see it happening. I could see it happening. Uh, that being a possibility. But Booster Gold, He's a part of the Justice League, as well as Ted Kord, who is one of the Blue Beetles as well. So I think that would be cool if that's going to be the roster. They might just need a fresh new actor for the DCU Batman. Yeah, that's true. I don't really have anybody, but I think you said is actually pretty good. But yeah, I just don't really know. Yeah, that's the thing, because if they don't get Alan Richardson, like I don't know who else could play Batman. Like I'm sure there is an actor out there that we haven't seen yet, or even a new actor, because David Cornsweet, he's been in some things, but I didn't really know of him, but when it was announced, like it was between him and Nicholas Holt, I was like, David Cornsweet, he looks like he could play a good Superman. And that's who they chose. And I'm really glad they did. Not to say that Nicholas Holt wouldn't have been able to have played a good Superman either, but it was awesome the fact that Nicholas Holt is getting another redeeming chance. He's going to be playing Lex Luthor in that film. So it's going to be really interesting to see his villainous acting chops in that film. Yeah, I heard they really want an older actor to play Batman. Like they want an older Batman. I really don't want that because if they want to build a universe, Batman and Superman are going to be the face of it. I think if you want a younger one, I think you will want a younger one so he'll last longer and play the role. Yeah, I think they should go for a younger Batman. To be honest, that's how I feel. And to that point, Solomon, I see why people are saying that they would want, Pattinson in the DCU. But again, this is a different, separate Batman. Pattinson just started out. This is like year one, year two for Pattinson. This Batman, he's a well experienced into his years. So I'd say like how this Superman feels like he's in his like late 20s, early 30s. I feel like Batman should be around that same age. Batman should be in his to me, should be in his like late late 20s, early 30s, maybe mid 30s. Um, just so that again these actors can play these characters for as long as they can, because you know if they want to keep this going for the next 15 to 20 years, they're going to have to really find people who are willing to play these roles even up into the age when they get older, because I do have a feeling that this is all going to lead to Kingdom Come at some point down the road. I'm not saying right now or even 15 years into the future, but I do see them I do see James Gunn wanting to lead to that somewhere down the line in the future. I would watch a Lego Marvel Captain America show. That would be cool. Like the Lego Marvel games are underrated. They're very underrated. Um, I want Deathstroke to be the main villain for a Nightwing live action series or movie. Yeah, that would be cool. Like I said, if they plan on expanding this DCU Bat family, Nightwing getting his own show, and him having to face through, you know, the challenges. Maybe it could be the Red Hood or, like I said, Deathstroke, or maybe someone of that caliber that could be a worthy opponent to go up that he could go up against. I think it would be really cool. Um, and like I said, there's just so many characters in the DC element that they could pull from. And like I said, knowing James Gunn, I'm sure he's looking at these characters and he's saying like, okay, what character could fit here? What character could fit here? What exactly am I trying to go for? Like, I'm sure he's had many sit downs. Because for him to have planned, Superman, Creature Commandos, Batman Brave and the Bold, Paradise Lost, which is another series that I'm gonna get into in a little bit, Lanterns, Waller, Swamp Thing, which is another thing that we'll get into as well. Because Swamp Thing sounds really interesting, and I love horror element type things. So, yeah, I feel like I'm missing another project. The Authority, which, speaking of The Authority, if you guys have seen the set photos, the actress who plays the engineer, she's in Superman. So this is obviously going to be her way of tying her into this story, and then we're going to probably see her go off on her own and join the Authority at some point, which I've read a little bit of the Authority, and I like the Authority. I think they're interesting characters. They're characters I've never heard of before, but there's one character. What is his name? Midnighter. I think that's his name, Midnighter. He looks like Batman, but he's not. His character looks really interesting. So I would definitely love to know more about his backstory. Um, as far as like who he is, what kind of powers does he have? See, Blockbuster should be the main villain if they want to do a Nightwing movie. Hmm. Yeah. What what projects? Yeah. Paradise Lost. Okay. Um. You see, I hope they go with the Batman looking cowl for Midnighter with the red eyes. That would be cool. That would be cool. I left for a bit. Did you guys talk with the Supergirl movie? That's it. That's it. Supergirl. Let's talk about that because Supergirl is going to be coming out the year after Superman. We just got word of that. Millie Alcox, I think that's her name. I don't want to butcher it. She's gonna be playing Supergirl, and Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so I wonder, are we going to see her on Krypton, or is she already on Earth? Has she already met up with Cal, and have they already had a discussion? I think that would be kind of interesting if she's already on Earth. She already, is already established. But I could see them starting maybe from the origin, and then her coming to Earth, and then her learning how to deal with it, and then her finding out about Cal, her cousin, being on Earth as well. I think that'd be an interesting direction. So we'll see, because they're doing that with My Adventures with Superman right now. If you guys are watching My Adventures with Superman, obviously, Kara, that there's a whole thing going on with that right now. I don't want to spoil it, but it's a good story. Like I said, I will recommend the show to anybody. Definitely go check out My Adventures with Superman. But yeah, you said the Batman cowl and the for the Midnighter. Yeah, that would be cool. Just asking, I kind of left the Supergirl movie. Can you kind of tell me what the Authority is like? Give me a little background because I've never heard about them. Okay, so the Authority is a group of heroes, and I'm kind of quoting this from James Gunn. Actually, let me turn the video back on so that way I could kind of fall through with what he said exactly, because I don't know much about the Authority myself. Because in this video, this is like the first time me knowing about the Authority. So he says the next movie is going to be called The Authority. So that confirms that The Authority is going to be a movie. And it's based on a marvelous wildstorm of characters, now bringing them into the DCU to interact with the primary DCU characters. They are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. He says it's a different look on superheroes. Which, if you've seen the set photos of Superman, like I said, the engineer, the actress that plays the engineer, she is in Superman. So again, this is going to tie into the Authority, which Superman has had interactions with the Authority in the comics. I have seen some comic book panels of that. So again, I think Superman already knows about the Authority. He already knows that they exist, as well as Mr. Terrific, which we didn't get much into Mr. Terrific, but I do think with Mr. Terrific being in Superman, I could definitely see Mr. Terrific setting up, Mr. Terrific being in the movie. It could set up the Terrifics, which is another team of terrific heroes. So I could see that being a thing, maybe like a HBO series or a Max series based on all of the Terrifics in that whole team. Yeah. I hope that was like very explanatory. Like I said, I don't know much about the Authority. I've only seen a few characters, and like I said, Midnighter was like definitely the one that kind of caught my interest because he was like a Batman esque kind of character. Um, Supergirl tomorrow will end with Supergirl meeting up with Superman on Earth. I could see that happening. I could see that happening. And who knows? Maybe they have like an emotional moment with that, um, and it just fades to black, so we don't really know what happens after that. Um, but I wonder how is Supergirl gonna play into the future story of DCU? Like whoever this villain is, it has to be like a universe world type villain that at some point everybody's gonna know about. Has to be. It kind of sounds like they're a group of anti-heroes that get the job done no matter the cost, like Peacemaker. Yeah, yeah. So they could go to extreme means like murdering people if they have to save the day, which is very different. It's very different because most superhero media, usually it's the heroes have a no kill rule. Now there are some that make an exception, like Wolverine and many other characters, but mostly when it comes to superhero groups, unless it's like villainous groups, they stick to a no killing rule, unless the story calls for it, and sometimes it does, but it just all depends. I think the Supergirl movie is called Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I think they'll just end up calling it Supergirl because it's kind of like Superman Legacy, although it is better than Superman Legacy. Yeah, yeah, I can see it being called Supergirl just to kind of match with the Superman vibe. I'm trying to think of an actor that is more acrobatic and athletic enough to play Batman. Yeah, definitely think about it. I think the villain is going to be Brainiac because in that photo, it looks like a Brainiac type ship. Yeah, in the Superman photo, the pink ball of energy. Yeah, I heard like there's two theories to that. Actually, three. But there's two of them that I could see, Brainiac or Parasite. I've heard those two. Um, but I have more and more, I'm starting to think it's Brainiac than anything else. Which Brainiac, he is also in Adventures, My Adventures with Superman. He is also a villain in that too. So, um, really interesting timing for that. Do you think the Punisher would absolutely destroy Batman, like a hand-to-hand combat? Because me, I personally do. Well, you gotta bear in mind that Batman, he knows many different forms of fighting techniques, fighting styles. So that's also a part into play. The Punisher is really good when it comes to hand when it comes to some hand-to-hand combat as well as gun combat. So that's also another plus for the Punisher. But I'd say ultimately, if it came down to it, that's a tough fight. Because if Batman has to kill if he needs to, I think he probably would, maybe. I don't think so, but I think if it called for it, I think he would make an exception at that moment. But like that's a good one. But ultimately, I'd say like I could see Batman getting the lead, just a little bit of a lead on the Punisher. I think it would be a close fight though. Who are the Authority and do they have powers? Yes, the Authority, they do have powers. As far as what all of their separate powers are, I don't know. But the Authority is basically a group of heroes who want to fix the world by any means necessary, even if that means if they have to kill, um, to fix a world that they feel is broken. Um, so think about it as like the X-Men, but a more, like you said, by any means necessary approach to the X-Men. I guess maybe might be the right term. I don't know if that might be the right comparison. Um, because I don't know if DC has their equivalent of mutants, but just kind of what came to mind just looking at the characters. Because one of the characters, they have wings, and when I saw their wings, it reminded me of Archangel. So, um, I'd have to read more up on the Authority, and next time we do a stream, I'll be a little bit more informative of the Authority and what they're able to do as far as like powers and stuff. Um, I want to see the Geoforce in the DCU to set up the Outsiders since we are getting Metamorpho and Superman. Yeah, Metamorpho is being set up. Um, what is that? There's a building. There's a building and it's reference to Metamorpho. There's a lot of references in the Superman set photos. Like there's a street sign with Lee, which is a homage to Jim Lee, which if you guys know, Jim Lee is a very famous illustrator, illustrated the X-Men, then went on to do Image Comics, then went on to become the head of the DCU Comics as well. So I think that's really cool that he has his own Easter egg in Superman. And Christopher Reeve's son, if you guys know Christopher Reeves, who played Superman back in the day. Um, his son is also a part of the Superman movie, so he's gonna make a cameo in there, which is I think is really a really heartfelt thing. Some people are gonna think, oh, this is just you're just doing this just because you are. I think it's really beautiful because you know his father, Christopher Reeves, really brought Superman on screen for the first time in a feature length film. And he will always, in my opinion, be one of the greatest Superman adaptations of all time. Just the way his character was, the way his demeanor was as playing Superman. And there was no way you could tell me that his Superman and his Clark Kent were the same people. Just like this one. David Cornsweet's Superman and Clark Kent are two separate people. They feel completely different, and just the look alone. We haven't heard what they sound like. We don't know what they sound like individually, but just based off of looks, it feels like a completely different person. I think they say Mr. Terrific is like an advanced scientist or something. He is. He's one of the smartest characters in DC. In DC. So think about it like this: Mr. Terrific is the Mr. Fantastic of DC. I think that's a good comparison. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. I might be wrong on that, but um, that's what I've heard. I don't know much about Mr. Terrific. I've seen pictures of Mr. Terrific. I've heard Mr. Terrific is a very intelligent guy, but I don't know much about him as far as anything else beyond that. What's Mr. Terrific powers again? I actually don't know. I actually don't know. I have my computer right there. But the next time we do another DC stream and you ask me that question again, I'll definitely let you know, and we can like go over the powers and stuff. But like I said, I think he's very super intelligent, things like that. You said Solomon. You think he can fly and do some other things. Also, Crypto. Crypto. It seems like Crypto is gonna be in Superman, which that's gonna be cool, because the only reference of Crypto I know is Crypto the Superdog, the animated series. I used to come home from school every single day, turn on Boomerang, and boom, Crypto the Superdog was on, you know, and you had all the other super pets on there, Streaky, um, what's Batman's dog? Which, if we're getting Crypto, I can now see Batman's dog being in the show too, being in Batman Brave and the Bold. But I think he just uses weapons a lot. Okay, okay. If they're going to do the Terrifics, bring in Plastic Man. That's been another rumored project. And James Gunn has posted Plastic Man on his Instagram stories before. So I don't know if maybe that is a tease to Plastic Man maybe getting a series or a movie. We'll have to see, but I think it would be cool to see Plastic Man come into the DCU. Thanks, Solomon. I kind of knew he can fly, but I don't know anything else like that at all. I don't think he can. But yeah, I literally know nothing else. Ace the Bat Hound. That's his name. Ace. Ace. So yeah, if the Crypto is gonna be in here, which he is, um, then yeah, Ace. I can definitely see Ace in Brave and the Bold. Um, that'd be cool. Him, Batman, Damien, and Ace going on a mission. That would be cool. That'd be a cool scene. So there's some other things like Paradise Lost. So referring to James Gunn, and I'm gonna bring back up the video, but according to James Gunn, he says that Paradise Lost is a story about Paradise Island, which obviously is the birthplace of Wonder Woman, also known as the Mascara. Um, and he described this show as a um, Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with the inhabitants of Paradise Island. So that tells me right there that this is going to be an established Wonder Woman. We're not going to see the origins. We're not going to see any of that. We're going to see um, Wonder Woman and what her time was like in the Mascara and that sort of thing. Which we did get to see like a little bit of glimpses of that in the Justice League movie, but not to a degree. Well, not the Justice League movie. It was the Wonder Woman movie, 1984. It was the second Wonder Woman movie that wasn't good. Um, I think that's when we saw a little bit more of that. But this is going to be a different take. And like I said, he described it as Game of Thrones mixed with Westeros, which I don't know about Westeros. So there's that. Let's see. I want to see Black Mask in the Penguin show. We could see him. We could see him because again, the Penguin is going to set up the Batman 2, which I really have a feeling we're probably not going to see Bruce Wayne, but I think we could potentially see the Batman show up in the Penguin. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the Batman's kind of on to what the Penguin is doing, and he's kind of like, I know what you're up to, and if you try anything, I will be back, and I will take you down. Like maybe we'll get a scene like that. So we'll see. How about Batman versus Daredevil? I'd still go with Batman. I'd still go with Batman in that fight. Is there any black people in the Authority? As I know of, no. Not that I know of. All the characters from the comic panel that James Gunn used in this video, uh, they're all white. But with the engineer, the actress that plays the engineer, well, they're not all white. There's an Asian guy. This is like a guy that's from the UK is also in here, so it's a mix of different. It's a mix of different people from different ethnicities, um, from what it looks like. But again, with the engineer, it's kind of different because the actress that plays her, she's Latina, so it doesn't really. I don't say that it doesn't matter, but I would say like it doesn't hold too much because the engineer is in this like solid chrome body, so you don't really technically know what she looks like if she has, any. I'm sure maybe she has a transformation that transforms her into her chrome state, but I'm like again, I'm not sure because I don't know much about the Authority, so I'd have to read up on the Authority to really tell you, to be honest. Um, But I think one of the members of the Authority can turn into metal or something. Yeah, that's the engineer. I believe that's the engineer. Because again, she has like a solid metal body. She has wires for hair. So what they're doing with the James Gunn, you can see like the actress in the set photos. She has her hair tied up into these braids. So they're gonna act as the cords that are connected to her, which I think is a really cool idea, really natural. But they're probably gonna add more to it with her extensions and stuff. I'm sure. Um, I said you got Midnighter, you got the Batman esque character here, which he looks really cool. Um, then you got this guy right here, like right beside Midnighter. He has like a UK flag shirt on. So with blonde hair, he reminds me. You guys remember Dexter's Laboratory? There's the one guy in the superhero group, and he has like the long hair, the long blonde hair, and the he has like a some kind of shirt on. I don't know if it's a UK flag shirt or something else, but that's what his character reminded me of when I saw him in this comic panel. Let's see, Batman versus Moon Knight. I'd still, I'd say Moon Knight could get the advantage. I'd say Moon Knight could get the advantage on Batman here. Another character, Black Panther. I think Black Panther would definitely beat Batman. Because Black Panther is just as skilled of a fighter like Batman is. And the thing about Black Panther, and that's why it sucks that the MCU, decided to do what they did, because Black Panther is immune to diseases. He's immune to illness. Um, the only thing he's not immune to is sound. Sound is his biggest weakness. But I wish they would have kept Black Panther in the MCU. I don't even want to get into the discussion because it just kind of bums me out every time I get into the discussion. But I definitely think Black Panther would definitely put up a good fight against Batman. They better give Joker the purple suit from the Arkham games and Brave and the Bold if he's going to be in the movie. We'll have to see. But the purple suit Joker, you can never go wrong with purple suit Joker. I think you can never go wrong with it. Shout out to Mark Hamill. Shout out to Mark Hamill, man. He is the Joker. Um, I was watching Batman the Animated Series the other night, and I'm just, I miss Kevin Conroy. I really do. I miss him. He was the Batman, like I said, he was the Batman that I grew up on. He's the definitive Batman in my eyes. And it sucks because I feel like there's so much more Batman I would love to have seen him do. Like, there's so much more. But I'm really proud and really glad that we were able to have his experience and expertise, you know, voicing this character and bringing so much range to the Batman character. Is Mr. Fantastic smarter than Beast? That I do not know. I think so, because Mr. Fantastic, in terms of what I've heard, Mr. Fantastic, he's like one of the smartest characters in Marvel. I don't know if he is the top smartest guy, but he is one of the smartest characters in 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 Marvel. Also, Iron Man is up there, Black Panther is up there. I think Beast is up there as well. There's a couple others that are up there too. I can't really remember the full list, but I think Mr. Fantastic is like top 2, top 3 smartest. Also Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is also up there as well as one of the smartest Marvel characters. Yeah, Black Panther would definitely win. You miss Batman Beyond nostalgia. Yeah, Batman Beyond. I missed. I missed Batman Beyond also, because I love what they were able to do, with, just that version of Batman. And it sucks because the Spider-Verse creators, like, they were pitching a Batman Beyond movie in the style of the Spider-Verse films. And I don't know if you guys saw, yeah, some of you guys, obviously you guys follow the content that I do on Jace the Dawn, and you guys saw the video that I did of the concept that someone made, in the style of the Spider-Verse with Batman Beyond. And off the concept alone, it was just a really smart and clever idea that I really would have loved to have seen come to the big screen. You had Ink, the villain Ink was going to be in the film, and just all the bright colors and dark colors and just the environment of that film felt very Spider Verse, but it also felt very Batman esque as well. I like Roger Kring Smith and Troy Baker as Batman, and Joker from Arkham Origins. Okay, yeah, I've heard good things about Roger as well, voicing Batman. Take it from the Marvel fan. I'm pretty sure that he is smarter than Beast. Yeah, like I said, like I'm again, I'm not too sure on the intelligence level, but like I said, I do know that Mr. Fantastic is top tier, like smart. He's up there in intelligence level. Which, like I said, watching the video, I think it was you, Marvel fan, that suggested the video of Wonder Man, and just kind of learning about Wonder Man and his friendship with Beast. I thought that was really cool. Um, Kind of going off topic into Marvel, but I don't mind. This is really cool, awesome stream, and like we're gonna talk more Marvel and DC stuff over here on the channel because it's really fun. I enjoy talking about it, and I enjoy talking about it with you guys. And like I said, I know you guys started following me for the animation stuff like X-Men '97, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, all that stuff. But I wanted to again like expand upon that and kind of talk about the live action stuff like the DCU like we're talking about right now. Um, so is there, with that being said, I think we've gone over all the DC projects, all the DCU projects. Am I forgetting one? Swamp Thing. How do you guys feel about Swamp Thing? Do you guys feel like Swamp Thing is going to be something big with that? Because James Gunn kind of describes it being that Swamp Thing is going to lead into the greater DCU and solve the big mystery of who, what all this leads to. Because what we know about Swamp Thing, and I'm going to try to go to it here. Well, they didn't post it all in the same thing. Okay. Let's see. Is just talking about Supergirl. I'm just waiting until he gets to Swamp Thing, and then we'll discuss more about Swamp Thing. Do you guys? Yeah, Mr. Fantastic has like an IQ of 300 IQ. 300 IQ. Oh man, yeah, he is. That's another level of smart, another level of intelligence. Right there, man. Let's see. Okay. So Swamp Thing is the last thing we're going to talk about. He says, Swamp Thing is described from him as a very dark horror story in the origins of the monster who is Swamp Thing, and although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. So Swamp Thing, so James Gunn confirms that Swamp Thing is outside of the DCU, but the stories within Swamp Thing will connect into the DCU. So, that's interesting. And again, he confirms it as a very dark horror story about Swamp Thing. Now I don't know much about Swamp Thing, and every time I see Swamp Thing, I it reminds me of Werewolf by Night with Man Thing. So I don't know if it's the same concept with Man Thing, because I know Man Thing, his story about being in the swamp, and he actually built a house in the swamp, and uh, he actually drowned. His house caught on fire or something, and he drowned into the swamp. And I think that's how it went. And he has like dimensional powers. Man Thing does. Does Swamp Thing have the same thing? Because if they do, I can kind of see where they're gonna go with this. Um, but I don't really know that much about Swamp Thing to say. So you'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes. All right, Marvel fan, we'll still be here. Let's see how Swamp Thing does first, because we need to learn more about the movie. Yeah, we do need to learn more about the movie. And I don't know how far apart we're going to learn about Swamp Thing, because that was like the last thing he mentioned in that DCU announcement. But like I said, I don't know anything about Swamp Thing. I've heard of him. Like I said, he reminds me of Man Thing from Werewolf by Night. And I don't want to try to confuse the two, and I don't want to say that they have similar stories, because I'm sure they have completely different stories. So if anyone knows anything about Swamp Thing, definitely acknowledge me on Swamp Thing and what his character is and what kind of powers he has. But I could probably agree, like most of us here are mostly Marvel fans, so we know a lot more about Marvel than we do DC. But I think it's fun that we're able to kind of learn and discover together about DC characters that we don't know about and what their stories are. Um, but anyone, if you see this on replay and you're a big DC fan, definitely give us some comment suggestions down below. Like some comments to read about, comics to read, you know, featuring these characters like the Authority and Swamp Thing and these characters, because I definitely, like I said, I would definitely want to learn more about them, and maybe you guys want to learn more about them as well. And I hope that we do get Batman Beyond game in the Arkham style. I kind of do not want it at the moment. Yeah, yeah. The only thing about that is, I know that the Arkham situation right now, it's kind of in a weird place, because with this whole Suicide Squad thing, um, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, I know kind of left a bitter taste in people's mouths. I know that I believe it was actually two of the people that were at Rocksteady left, like as soon as the game released, and started like a completely different like game studio. But Rocksteady's still a thing. You guys have probably heard that there is a Arkham game. It's a VR game, but it's an Arkham game nonetheless. It's Arkham Origins. What is the name? Arkham Shadows. I think that's what it's called. Arkham Shadows. And Ratcatcher is gonna be. I don't know if Ratcatcher is gonna be the main villain in it, but I know Ratcatcher is going to be in that game. I think that the Swamp Thing storyline is intriguing, although the character dev is different from Swamp Thing and Man Thing. They've shared similar abilities. It's very easy to get them confused sometimes. Yeah, yeah, because even in like design wise, like they have a similar design. And that's why I always try to make sure that I don't get them confused, because similar design wise, but as far as like power set, I'm sure there's some uniqueness to both of them. I like VR even though I do not have a headset anyways. Okay. So yeah, if you like the Arkham games, Arkham Shadows is supposed to be coming out. I don't know when, but it's supposed to be coming out. So maybe that's something that you could, tune into. Hopefully, we get more DC games in the future. We're due for a Superman game. We were supposed to get a Superman game and it got canceled. Same with the Daredevil game. There's a really good video out there if you guys want to check out about the history of the Daredevil game. There's a channel called Always Nerdy, and they give a retrospective on the canceled Daredevil game. They go really good into detail in the development and what really happened with the cancellation of the game. And it really sucks that we didn't get that Daredevil game because I think it would have been really cool to, have gotten one. I hope we get a Daredevil game in the future because I feel like Daredevil is definitely a character that's due for a game. Um, but yeah, I said Superman. I would love to see a Teen Titans multiplayer game. I think that would be cool. Justice League, The Watchmen, and I know like The Watchmen, like what? Like yeah, The Watchmen. I know there's a. I haven't seen the trailer by the way for the Watchmen movie that's gonna be coming out. I'm gonna do a reaction to it tomorrow actually, so you guys get a little bit of another sneak peek. I'm gonna be potentially doing a reaction to the Watchmen trailer tomorrow on the Jace the Dawn Jace the Dawn TV. You guys hear that? Jace the Dawn channel. But also keep in mind there are rumors out there that apparently a Captain America 4 trailer is going to be coming out tomorrow. Now the same people reporting this did report that an Agatha trailer was coming like the day before. Like they like reported it a day before it came out, and then we did get the Agatha trailer. So I'm 50-50 on it. If there is a trailer for Captain America Brave New World, best believe I will be reacting to it over here on the JaceTV channel. Um, and that sort of thing. So Daredevil would have been a good for PS4. Yeah, it would have been. Because at the time when they were developing the game, I think it was going to be on PS2. It was going to be on PS2. But like I said, the studio went bankrupt and then they completely just scrapped the game because they could never seem to get ideas off the ground. I mean, they did have ideas, but it's a long-winded history. So yeah, definitely go check out that Always Nerdy Daredevil Council game. Just type in Daredevil Council game, and I'm sure that it'll be one of the first things you'll see. And it goes really far into detail into the game and things that we were gonna expect and stuff. Insomniac could do a Daredevil game. Look at the Spider-Man games. Yeah, they could. They could do one. Um, because I honestly feel like it would be cool to have Daredevil appear in the Spider-Man games. Because there's Easter eggs to Daredevil. You know, Matt Nilsson. Uh, they have their law firm in the game. There's references to Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Fantastic Four, Wakanda. The embassy is in the game. There's a lot of locations in the Marvel Insomniac universe, and we're patiently awaiting for Marvel's Wolverine, which it could come out next year. It could come out uh, 2026. We don't really know. I know there's leaks out there. I've been staying away from the leaks. I don't know a thing about the game. I don't want to know anything about the game. I kind of just want to be surprised. But I'm looking forward to Wolverine. I'm looking forward to the story of that game and what to expect. So I hope that we get a trailer, another trailer for that game soon because I feel like we're due for one. And also, yeah, Wolverine is getting his own game. Yeah, I was just talking about that. I believe the new Captain America trailer comes out this week. Yeah, there's been talks of it coming out this week. So we'll see. It's supposed to come out tomorrow, apparently. So we'll see if it comes out tomorrow. But with Marvel like putting out all these like trailers, because I mean we got Agatha potentially Captain America: Brave New World. What plans do they have for SDCC? And you know what? That's a good segue into play into this. The week of Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm gonna be doing another Jace live at 5. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do one next week, but I know the week of Deadpool and Wolverine, I am gonna do another Jace live at 5, and we're gonna talk about SDCC predictions. We're gonna, sit down, chat. What MCU projects do you think could get announced to SDCC? What projects would you like to see get announced to SDCC? So definitely stick around, stay tuned for that because that's gonna be a really cool stream. And again, that's the week of Deadpool and Wolverine. You guys know we're gonna talk Deadpool and Wolverine in that stream as well. Just some final predictions and final comments and stuff like that, which I think is going to be really awesome. Also, for those of you who are wondering when Marvel Studios is going to be, uh, you know, their when Marvel Studios is going to have their panel at San Diego Comic Con, it's going to be that Saturday night. So the day after Deadpool and Wolverine premieres on the 26th, the 27th on that Saturday is when they are going to have their Marvel panel. Once we get more news as far as what times, I will keep you guys updated on what times because I might actually do a live stream for that. I might actually do a live stream. Uh, I'll try to figure out if I can get a good setup so maybe I could set my stream up to show on the computer and we see the announcements and stuff. So we can go over the announcements and things like that. I think that would be really cool just to have that experience and be hyped and excited with you guys. And if that works out, who knows? I may do it for D23 as well because that's coming up in August next month. So we'll see. We'll see. I have a lot of plans for this channel. That's all I'll say. So there's definitely a lot to look forward to. Let's see. Can we see a more technological advanced Doctor Doom? I think we can. I feel like if Doctor Doom is going to be the villain, maybe Avengers 5, then I could see Doctor Doom being very strategic with his methods, because Doctor Doom is really smart as well. Really smart. I did not watch the Agatha trailer because, uh, what exactly when you say because you just don't, you're not a fan of Agatha? Are you you're not a fan of the show? You don't really care about Agatha getting a show, which I've heard that. Why of all characters Agatha get a show? Um but I'll say this. I kind of have one hope, and it would be cool to see Agatha Harkness join the Midnight Suns. Obviously, they're not going to do it in this movie because the Midnight Suns are not even set up. We don't even have Blade still. And we don't even know if Blade... I'm not going to say if we don't know if Blade is going to come out. I think Blade is going to come out, but we're still awaiting on Blade. We have Moon Knight, so Moon Knight's there. We have Emma Bloodstone. We have Werewolf by Night. So we have these characters. Like, we have that horror element already established in the MCU. It's just getting it together and getting the team together is the thing that they're going to have to work on primarily. Welcome back, Marvel fan. I think if Wanda is truly dead, then Agatha can replace Wanda. I could see it. I could see it. That could be a redemption arc for Agatha, maybe. Because I do think in the Agatha show, there is someone more villainous than her that we're going to get introduced to in that show. And Agatha's going to have to make the decision. Do I want to continue my evil, villainous ways? Or do I want to change them? So I think that could be a nice dynamic for the show to close it off with. And like I said, Agatha becomes a redeeming character, and then down the line, when the Midnight Suns they set up for that, Agatha Harkness could join the team. I think she could fit right in with the Midnight Suns. Doctor Doom should give himself more powers and more advancements. Yeah, just Doctor Doom just get more and more powerful, and because again, we still don't know what Avengers 5 is going to be. We know because Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays Doctor Strange, he confirmed that Avengers 5 is going to be filming next year. And I think there was a schedule for when exactly Avengers 5 is going to be filming to when it stops filming. And we also know that there's going to be a big amount of characters. It's going to be a variety of characters. I think they said that it was going to be over 60 characters in Avengers 5. If I remember reading that correctly, over 60 characters. And that's a long list in itself, trying to figure out who out of all the 60 characters are they going to put into that film. Obviously, Spider-Man. Obviously, you got the likes of Spider-Man, Sam Wilson, Moon Knight, those characters. But as far as like, what other characters out of the 60 are going to be there, we'll have to find out. We'll have to find out. One thing I'll say for sure is that I think Deadpool and Wolverine is going to change the trajectory of Marvel. I think it might as well could be the movie to do that. But again, we'll have to see. We'll have to see on that. Let's see, are there any other comments right now? No comments right now. Okay. But yeah, I said it's been pretty fun talking about the DCU. When do you think the Avengers 5 is coming out? When do you think Avengers 5 is coming out? To 2026. 2026, by the way, is going to be a stacked year for movies. 2023 was a stacked year for movies. We had Barbie, we had Fast X, we had not Fast X. Is it Fast X? Fast 11. We had Across the Spider-Verse, we had Oppenheimer, we had the Super Mario Brothers movie. We had tons of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Like there were so many movies that came out last year. And 2026 is looking to be another one of those big banger box office movie years. Like you said, Avengers 5, Shrek 5, Toy Story 5, some other movies as well coming out that year. There's a lot to look forward to in 2026. Shang-Chi should definitely be one of the 60 characters. Yeah, Shang-Chi is definitely going to be one of the 60 characters. Especially, again, if they are going to continue Kang. If Kang is still going to be the villain in Secret Wars, those 10 rings are definitely going to come into play. Just like Miss Marvel. Those bangles, they're going to come into play. Because I believe, if I remember in the comics, the bangles and the 10 rings give Kang more power. If I remember that correctly. I might be wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that's something I definitely heard. Mid-2026. Yeah, mid-2026. 2026 is going to be a legendary year for animation at Marvel. Yeah. And honestly, I said this on Twitter. I don't think Across the Spider-Verse needs to drop in 2026. Because there's too much. There's too much animated films, and I feel like there's too much other big blockbuster films coming out that year. So I feel like if you're going to release a Beyond the Spider-Verse, either you release it next year or you wait till 2027 to release it. Those are the only two conclusions I have. That's how I feel about it. But I don't think it needs to come out in 2026 because it's already a packed year. Also, the second Super Mario Brothers movie is coming out that year, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem 2 is also coming out that year as well. So when you think about it, 2026 is ultimately a repeat of 2023. When you really think about it, who knows? Whatever else movies, who knows? Warner Brothers might decide to release another Barbie movie in 2026. Like, who knows? You know what I mean? Like, I would not put it past Warner Brothers to do that. Also, do we get Doctor Strange should be one of the main characters? Yeah, for sure. Doctor Strange needs to be one of the main characters. Now, when we have that discussion at SDCC, the week of Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm gonna bring this question up now, and I'll bring it back up when we have that live stream. Would you guys like to see a Doctor Strange 3? Or would you guys like to see Doctor Strange appear in something else? I'd say like maybe a Midnight Suns or um, like an Avengers. Obviously, he confirmed with him saying that Avengers 5 is filming next year and he's really looking forward to it. That obviously Doctor Strange is going to be in uh, Avengers 5. So I can't say that because he is going to be in there from the way he mentioned it in that interview. You got, okay, you do, Marvel fan, you say you do want Doctor Strange 3. Okay, I would like to see a Doctor Strange 3 as well. And I would not be surprised that at SDCC, that's one of the spots on the Phase 6 slate. Because I feel like that's what we're going to find out. We're going to find out extra projects in Phase 6. Because we're already halfway through Phase 4, and we're getting into Phase 5 next year. So I could see Phase 6. No, we're not in Phase 4. We're past Phase 4. We're in Phase 5. We're halfway through Phase 5. Obviously, we still got projects like Daredevil Born Again, Thunderbolts, Captain America 4, coming out next year, Blade. Yeah, those are still on the Phase 5 slate. So we're halfway through Phase 5. I don't know why I said Phase 4. Phase 4 ended with Wakanda Forever. So yeah. Also, I could see Shang-Chi 2 also being another movie on the slate um, for that. I'm hoping for Moon Knight Season 2. I'm hoping for Moon Knight Season 2. I really want to see the world of Moon Knight get expanded upon more, especially with Jake Lockley. Like, I would love to see more of the Jake Lockley side of Moon Knight and stuff. I think Blade is going to be like, they're not going to do anything with it until they get everything together. And that's how it should be. You know, people are making jokes and memes and saying, oh, this movie's never going to come out. And I disagree. I think the movie's going to come out. They just want to get it right. And people are saying, oh, it's a movie about vampires. What's so hard about that? Well, for one, it's how you do it. Because if it comes off very cheap and cheesy, then people are not going to buy into it. So if you're going to do a Blade movie, you got to do it right. And did they ever confirm that Blade did they ever confirm the rating for Blade? Is Blade rated R or is it rated M? I think it was confirmed rated R, but I can't remember. Fingers crossed for Moon Knight season 2. I really want it. I really want it as well. I really do. I watched Comic Storian, which rest in peace to Comic Storian, legend, legend in the comic book community. Um, One of the videos that I watched was the Moon Knight full story he did. And the way he was telling the story about Moon Knight and this particular story, and his personality changes and how he was able to overcome, and this sort of thing, it just, it was a really interesting story, and I would love to see that story play out in Moon Knight season 2. Again, rest in peace to comic historian. Um, Really good guy. Really good guy. Yeah, they confirmed it. It will be rated R. I think it will be rated. It's only for shows. Correct me if I'm wrong. Rated M. Yeah. I think rated. Yeah, TVMA. Yeah, rated TVMA. So like Daredevil, Luke Cage, the classic Netflix Marvel shows, they're rated TVMA. But I think there is a mature rating for films as well. Unless it's, and then there's like NC-14. Is it NC-14 rating as well, if I remember correctly? Because I think there was like a Merlin Monroe movie that came out a couple years ago that was like NC-14, I think. Um, but yeah, rest in peace, comic story, man. Um, and I love the video he did talking about Black Panther. Um, why Black Panther can't be white. Um, I thought that was like a really, like, the way he broke it down. And that's one thing with Benny. That's one thing with Comic Historian. He was always able to break down things for people who weren't big into the comics, or maybe was a casual at the comics or didn't know where to start. Benny always had this welcoming feeling of bringing you in. It was like you were sitting around a campfire and he was telling you these stories and he was acting out these characters, and his form of storytelling is just remarkable. And again, he will be very much missed. Um, and I hope he knows, I hope he knew that he made a lot of impact on a lot of people's lives. I hope he knew that. Yeah. Yeah, he was really cool. He was really cool. That death hit me really hard that day too. Because I was on Twitter, and then I was reading the statement that his wife put out, and then I looked down at the bottom and I seen that it was his wife that put out the statement, and it was like my heart just stopped. And what was so weird about it was because like the day before, I had watched a comic story and video, and I was looking forward to the next comic story and video that he was gonna put out. And then like the day after, we got the news of him passing, and it just, like I said, my heart stopped. Like I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. But it was really awesome to see all the love and support and people, sharing the videos that, they watched of Comic Story, and what comic book stories that, got them into reading comics, because Comic Storian was, sharing his knowledge of the comics. It was just really great to see all the love from that. And I hope that, moving forward, we can see more of that with other, individuals who have impacted us, because, people think that YouTubers, being a YouTuber is just, you're being a personnel, in front of the camera. But it's more than that because, when you have people who watch your content, when you have people who, enjoy what you do, who enjoy you as a person, um, it hits much harder. You have a connection with this person because you've spent a large amount of your time, with this person, maybe not physically in front of you, but virtually, but also mentally because of the impact that they made. He was like one of my go-to guys, for comics. Yeah, he was. Also, another guy that I go to, his name is Fresh Comic Stories. I think that's his name. Fresh Comic Stories. He's going through the X-Men, the Uncanny X-Men runs, which has been really good. I've been going through all of that. He also does, when he finishes up a certain storyline, he takes all the parts into, that saga, and he puts them into one big long video, like Comic Storian does. Um, so yeah, that's another comic channel I watch. Um, there's another one as well that I watch. I can't think of the name of it right now. There's a lot of good like comic reviewers out there who just go through the whole thing of the comic. And a lot of the comics that they go through in the videos, I actually do sometimes end up buying. Like for example, like my Daredevil one, I watched Comic Historian's video on the Chip Zdarsky run of Daredevil. And so when I watched it, it actually got me involved to want to read the comics. So I don't have all the Chip Zdarsky runs of the Daredevil comics, but I do have the one that Spider Man is in, and him and Spider Man team up. So I do have that one. So shout out to him and Comic Historian and just all the other amazing comic book readers and analysts and dissectors on YouTube. They've saved a lot of people, including myself, just a lot of confusion when it comes to the comics. Let's see, Comics Explained. Yes, that's it. Comics Explained. That's who else I watch as well. Really good breakdowns of the comics as well. But yeah, probably around the 2 hour mark is when I'm probably gonna end the stream. Not gonna end it right now because we still got a good amount of time left, but this has been fun. We talked DCU, all the DCU projects. I believe we talked about just going over those. So that was fun. Uh, okay, you really recommend Variant? Okay, I'll add them tonight. I'll subscribe to them tonight and I'll check them out because I'm probably gonna chill after this. But yeah, we talked that. We talked some other upcoming plans for the channel, Marvel stuff. It's just an all around great live stream, and shout out to again you guys for always coming in and supporting the streams and just you know I know this isn't for everybody. I know there's more people inclined to the animation stuff that I do than this, but you guys know I want to expand and do more than just animation. I don't want to stick myself in one niche. I want to be able to do many different niches, and you guys know that. You guys know that. I don't have to keep constantly explaining it, but I feel like sometimes I have to. Um, but yeah. Oh, my hand. I got big hands. Uh, let's see. Okay, no other comments. Um, are there any topics that you guys want me to go further into? Because like I said, we got some time left over to go further into some let's see. I also just want to suggest something. Put like a community post in your main channel because maybe people don't know that you have a second. So like maybe put a community post and link the channel or tell them how to find it. Yeah, because Thomas. I don't believe Thomas. If you're here, Thomas. If not, yeah, because Thomas in the stream yesterday that we did, remember he was asking about the second channel. He couldn't find it, and I forgot to do it. And I'm gonna do it right after the stream. That's gonna be the first thing I do right after the stream, is to make sure that I link my second channel at the top, so that way people can go and click on the channel. That's the first thing they see, so people can come over to the second channel. We can get more people coming in. Um, but that's a good idea. I have been also sharing the other streams from this channel to the main channel. Some people come in, some people don't. Like I said, I understand. Some people come for the animation stuff, and I get it. But you guys that come in, uh, from this channel and have been supporting it and stuff. I really appreciate it. And, just like we did with the first channel, we're going to get the second channel up and going. There's going to be more people to come in. We're gonna get more interaction. So it's gonna be a good time. Like I said, it feels like I started a brand new channel all over again. That's the feeling. That's the vibe. But I'm with it. I like it. I like where I'm at right now. So I'm gonna keep it going. Of course, man. We're always going to support you. Watch your content, bro. Apologies for not being able to be on time for yesterday's live stream, fam. For some reason, my YouTube sent me a notification after. All good, all good. And don't worry about it, guys. Having to come to a stream. You don't always have to show up on time. You know, uh, you can show up at any time, and we'll still have the discussion, and things will be all good. You know, one thing about me, I'm very chill. Like I'm very chill. I don't I understand, we all have lives outside of, you know, YouTube and social media, and sometimes we're not able to make it. We're not able to do certain things. Things come up. It happens. I understand. And that's it. But I'm just glad that you guys are here. Whenever you do pop up, that's enough for me right there. That you guys are able to show up whenever you can, even if it's after the stream. And I'll try to discuss some things after the stream in the comments if I can. Just, being able to, you know, have you guys here on the journey, to me, that's all that significantly matters. And I couldn't be more grateful and I couldn't be more thankful, really. Man, I'm rocking with this new channel. Thank you, Caden. Thank you, Marvel fan. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Like seriously. You guys don't understand, like, I put so much time into this channel and the other channel because I'm very passionate about this. And when you're very passionate about the things that you love and the things that you want to do, you add the extra effort. And I always try to add the extra effort, even though sometimes it may not be necessary. I still feel like I'm obligated to bring my best, and I want to continue that. I want to continue that with this channel, with Jace the Don, with maybe some other potential channels in the future. Who knows? I want to continue to bring my best, and not even with just YouTube, but becoming an actor and I want to take you guys along that journey of me, becoming an actor and just learning about that experience and what that experience could be like. So I want to really document my life and just kind of look back at this years later, all the times when, you know, I went through things in school and when I was bullied, and that happens to all of us. But being able to say that, after all the things I went through in school with the bullying and all the things, the sort of things that happened, um, I can look back and say I did something. Like I made it. Like regardless of what people said about me, I'm here. I'm still here. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
strong. I'm still kicking it. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I'm really happy. Again, like, just really happy with just how things are going. And I will always be supportive of you guys, whatever you guys want to do. Anytime that you need to talk, or anytime that you need to someone to support you, I'm here. Um, I'd say that, we were born into this life to give back and to help other people flourish, as well as we flourish in ourselves. And I want to continue that trend. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That could be something I'm referring to. Marvel fan, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Maybe in the future, because I do want to. I did have a vlogging channel before I started YouTube entirely. I actually did have a vlogging channel when I was in high school, but I did my first vlog, like, it was my senior year of prom, and I actually vlogged the prom for my senior year, but I deleted it because people that were in it I was no longer friends with, and you kind of know how that goes. People that you're no longer friends with, you kind of just forget about it. So that's kind of what happened. I kind of just forgot about it. I just deleted it, and I just didn't want anything to do with it. I regret it now. I regret it now because that was a great way to look back on a memory in my life that I have pictures of, and I have memories of, but I would have loved to have had, videotaped, kept that footage of what I had. It's like, you guys remember growing up, you know, families and stuff, they would have the camcorder and they would VHS tape, certain moments. And they'd have this big container full of VHS tapes of memories that from you were a kid and you were a baby, getting taken home from the hospital, and all these memories. That's what this channel is for me. This is like, again, it's a time capsule. It's a time capsule, and I want to, like I said, be able to look back and laugh and smile and say, like, oh, I remember that day, like I remember when that happened. So I could definitely see you in a movie with Denzel, bro. Thank you, thank you. That is the goal. That is the goal. There are two people that I want to work with in the industry: Denzel Washington and Will Smith. They are two of my biggest influences when it comes to being an actor, and I would love to be in a movie with them. But being in a movie with both of them in there together, all three of us, that is like the ultimate goal. Like the ultimate goal. And I would love for that to happen one day. And it is gonna happen. I'm going to claim that it's going to happen. Anything that you want, claim it. Because it can happen. It can happen. Man, that's why you're the best. Man, you're one of the nicest people, and you inspire others to be better. Be better. You got the most down to earth, the most humble takes on things, which is a major W. Thank you, man. Man, thank you. Like, seriously. Like, I I try. Like I said, I try my best. I'm not the biggest content creator. I'm not the broadest content creator, and I think that's a good thing because I don't want to feel like I lose myself. You know, over time, you get to a certain level, and ego comes to play, and I don't want to have that. I want to be able to distinguish the difference between real people and yes people. And you don't want yes people in your life. You want to have people who will tell you straight up, that wasn't right what you did, that wasn't cool, and you learn from that mistake. Um, so I'd rather have truthful people in my life than have yes people. And I want to continue to be my true, authentic self. like I said, people, on here, they can do what they want. That has nothing to do with concerning me, but I know here that I'm here to only focus on what I can do and what I can bring, and that's what matters. This is why you're like one of, if not my favorite content creator. You're so humble and kind. Your videos are great and top notch. Just keep it up and keep going. I will, Marvel fan. Thank you, Kaden and Marvel fan, for always being very supportive and just uh, encouraging me. Um, it's awesome that I'm able to have that, and I hope that I'm able to inspire and encourage you the same. Whatever you guys want to do in your life, why stop now? Who's telling you that you can't? You can do whatever you set out to do. If you want to be the greatest animator in the world, go for it. If you want to be the greatest doctor in the world, whatever you decide that you want to be, go for it, because no one's going to tell you otherwise. No one can tell you that you can't do it. My granddad, which rest in peace to my granddad, he passed away a couple years ago. He would always tell me, never say can't. Never say you can't do something. Can't is not a word that you should put in your dictionary, because you can do it. You can do it if you want to, if you're determined. No matter how much life throws obstacles at you, if you can, if you want to, if you desire to, you can, it will, it is meant for you to have it, it will happen. Um, wise words being spoken right now. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I feel like I'm preaching right now. I'm like a motivational speaker. I'm not trying to be, but I guess sometimes we have those moments where we just kind of go outside of just having like a we just have one of those moments where it just happens. We have one of those moments. And I think today that was just one of those moments. Um, your grandpa sounds really like he was very wise. Sorry for your loss. Thank you, thank you, man. Uh, my granddad, he's a very strong man, and a very well wise and talented man. And I know he's proud of me. You know, I know he's proud of me looking down, uh, and he's just very proud of where I'm going with my life and where my life is set to go. And I want him to know that I was very proud of him and how he was able to inspire me through times that I felt like I didn't have inspiration. Um, so I hope he knows that, and I feel like he does. Um, no, you're all good. You don't gotta apologize. I think that's for real. Yeah, yeah. It's real. It's real. And like I said, that's why I like to just be my real authentic self. Like I'm not gonna, sit up here and put on like a mask for just for an audience, because at the end of the day, you're not an audience to me. You guys are human beings. We all are human beings. Just because I'm behind a camera and I have a channel, that doesn't mean that I'm any better than anyone else. Um, I go through life issues and things just like we all do. Like, I never really got that whole ego thing that some people have, but if it works for them, it works for them. But I can tell you, it doesn't work for me. Um, and I'm proud of where I am. Let's see. Everything you accomplish and still will accomplish makes you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Oh, are we back? Okay, was reconnecting for a moment. I think we're back now. No, it's okay. We all have that moment. You're someone who was humble, and you kind of gave an inspirational speech. Yeah, yeah. I was up here giving a speech like I'm getting a Oscar. Which I'm claiming that happens too. Getting an Oscar, that would be really cool, just to get an Oscar. one day. Um, it'll happen. It'll happen. Yeah, yeah, it'll happen. But yeah, we're past the 2 hour mark. If there are any more like comments, questions you guys have, definitely let me know. Um, but um, but if not, just let me know. Let's see. You know what? Your grandpa's wise words are really going to stick with me. That's good. That's good. Like I said, can't is not a word in your dictionary. You can do it. Make it happen. Just like the meme. Just do it. Just do it. Make your dreams come true. That is a real thing. Make it happen. But yeah, any more comments, questions, comments? I said comments twice. Comments. Comments. All right, yeah, so definitely let me know. And if not, man, that's the absolute truth right there. Yeah, yeah. I have fun, man. I have fun doing these streams. I really do. And I say it a lot. I do. But like I said, I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. Really enjoyed the stream. Marvel fan, you said, really enjoyed the stream. It got deep in a good way. Stay safe. Stay like you are. Peace, I guess, before the stream ends. Yes. Yeah, you too. Stay safe. Be good to yourself. Be good to other people. Um, always keep encouraging yourself. Remember, can't is not in the dictionary. You can, you will, and it will happen. Um, and yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day and week. Like I said, I will possibly do a reaction to Watchmen. I'm not sure yet. I might not. We'll have to see. But if there is a Captain America Brave New World trailer coming out tomorrow, best believe your boy will be doing a reaction to it over here on the JaceTV channel. So yeah. I'm trying to see if there are any more comments before I end the stream. This is an excellent and cool discussion, man. I always love tuning in. You're a legend. No, no, Caden, you're a legend. You guys are the legends here. I'm just a messenger here. You guys are the real legends, and I seriously mean that. But thank you. I really appreciate that. But yeah, that's gonna call it. Like I said, tomorrow, either Watchmen possibly or Captain America if something comes out. Marvel fan, good job with your channel, your stuff. Take your time. Your stuff, you take time. Just give us the vids to enjoy. Yeah, I will. I will. I won't try to do videos that I don't feel like I want to do. Um, I want to do videos that I feel like I want to do and that I know you guys want to see. And yeah, Jason Doll's a legend. Marvel fan, you're the legend. You are the legend. And I'll end it on that. So thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who tuned in to this week's Jace Live at 5. I'm trying to figure out if we'll do a Jace Live at 5 next week. We'll have to see how things go. If not, best believe the week of Deadpool and Wolverine, we will be doing a Jace Live at 5, going over San Diego Comic-Con predictions and Deadpool and Wolverine final thoughts, final predictions, that sort of thing. Um, I meant to say is take time out of your day just to give us videos to enjoy. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I will always continue doing that. I will always continue doing that. As much as I am enjoying YouTube, it's had its rough moments. I'll admit it. It has its rough moments, but ultimately, I wouldn't. I don't regret doing this. I would not have it any other way. So again, I'll leave it on that note. Thank you all so much. Thank you for coming by in the stream and tuning in. And as I always say, big love to you all. And wait, okay, Kaden, you said you're not what the future holds, but rather you are the one that holds the future. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So are you, Kaden. So are you, Kaden. You're amazing. Keep it up on your grind and peace out, Marvel fan. And like I said, big love to you all, and peace out.